Hello guys, today talk about everyone's favorite movie of the year. Oh yes, Hustlers, a movie that no one cares about. A movie that the critics called a masterpiece, but others still complain about anything else being too sexy, like the Transformers controversy. But it just makes me it just makes me smile the more this movie continues to fail on Blu-ray and DVD, the more that this movie continues to fail. The fact that Hustlers is doing worse than the Angry Birds movie too, it's all we have to do is telling of how poorly Hustlers is doing on Blu-ray. Hustlers is the movie that STX Entertainment made, and this is how much money domestically Hustlers has made. That is nothing to laugh at. Even I was disappointed, like, this movie made that much money. But obviously, this movie must have not been a good movie. This movie must have not been the masterpiece that the critics made it out to be. I think one reason due to this film's success, just like Little Woman, is the fact that the critics kept calling this a masterpiece of film. That you had to see this. That this movie is an important milestone for women empowerment, and of course, feminism. But, of course, that's the only reason why this movie had an inflated box office as a whole. And Hustlers is that one movie that it's just no one seems to care about. It just seems that everybody has forgotten. And it falls from number 4 to number 20 on Blu-ray sales. Okay? It falls that low on the sales. Okay? Hustlers didn't even make the list. Do you know what movies outsold Hustlers? The Last Jedi even outsold Hustlers. The Grinch, Overcomer made more copies and sold more copies than Hustlers its first week. All the new releases that came out this week, Ad Astra, Abominable, Downton Abbey, and Rambo West. But now we'll be going over the new releases tomorrow, or the whole video sales together. And now let's go over movies that have came out this year that have beaten Hustlers at the sales. Okay, we haven't done that yet, and we'll be only going over movies that made less money than Hustlers. Okay, so the first movie here, most of these movies actually made more money than Hustlers. All these movies made far more money than the movie, but the first movie here, where is it? First movie is Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix is not a good movie, but it still outsold Hustlers because the critics called Hustlers a masterpiece, but nobody cared. No one cared about Hustlers because the movie was garbage, okay? Dark Phoenix sold less money. Alita Battle Angels was another notable exception here. It sold 863,000 copies. I think the copies are wrong here. I think they're around 100,000 more. And, yeah. And then next is, of course, another movie. Pen Back to National made less money than Hustlers, still sold more copies. John Wick Chapter 2 made less money than Hustlers domestically, but still is beating it. Still is beating Hustlers. Still is being a movie that no one cares about. And of course, John Wick is a monumental success of a franchise, which the first two movies obviously have been doing well because of the glorious John Wick 3, obviously. Creed 2, obviously, no, Creed 2 made more money, I think, but you can see some of these movies. Hellboy sold more copies than Hustlers, okay? And of course, you have these people complaining, oh, people just don't appreciate film, okay? People just don't appreciate it, okay? That's why movies like Us and Hustlers don't sell. Well, maybe it's because the films are woke, okay? Woke as garbage. And you know what happened? You know what the saying is? Get woke, go broke. And that's what happened to these movies. You know which movie is selling well? On Blu-ray, they don't have it updated for this. You know what sold well on Blu-ray? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And what was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Do they have the updated sales for it? I don't think they do. It's Chapter 2 is at 38. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is down here. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sold 500,000 copies. You're telling me it's just because the general audience does not appreciate film. Then we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then let's not forget that Joker passed $1 billion at the box office. Let's not forget the fact that Joker, a movie that has no action in it at all, made $1 billion. Joker made $1 billion. Which is, which I think this year is probably the worst year for the box office. Not because of streaming, because of the coronavirus, obviously. But you have a lot of these movies selling well. Bohemian Rhapsody is another film. It's not a movie. It's not mindless entertainment. And that sold 2.7 million copies as well. You know, I bet a lot of people just bought that movie for the music. Most people bought it because they're fans of Queen. And we have movies that are not really movies that borderline that are both action movies and film, such as John Wick Chapter 3, Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, sold 2.3 to 2.2 million copies respectively. A Star Wars Born passing 1.5 million copies. We have movies like The Greatest Showman still selling. Yes, The Greatest Showman is still selling. We have Real Battle Angels at 863,000. I know people will disagree with me at Real Battle Angel, but I think that is more than just an action movie, like the critics make it out to be, made it out to be. You know, the critics, the most trustworthy people in the face of the media. I can't wait to see how that Sonic sells more copies than Hustlers in the first 2 weeks on Blu-ray. I know that's not really a film; that is more of an entertainment movie. But if you're a fan of Sonic, you'll appreciate the movie. But John Wick 1 and 2, those are more films, and I'm not really counting Disney movies. You have, some other old movies on here. The Wizard of Oz is an old movie. I'm counting really new movies. We have a lot of the, some, and of course, it's just so funny that these people go out, hey, Hustlers is not selling. It's proof that movies are dying. It's proof that Blu-rays are dying. Even though Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out the same day, another movie that's considered a masterpiece, guess what? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sold 5 times more copies than Hustlers. It sold 5 times more copies. You have a movie that is one of the worst movies of last year, Hunter Killer, outselling Hustlers. Okay? I won't be surprised if it ends up being that way, because that's how the SJWs are. They don't buy movies. And Hustlers on Blu-ray, okay, most of the people who buy Blu-rays are people who are fans of the movies they went to go see in theaters, okay? Usually people who want to go see the movies that didn't get the chance to see in theaters. But, like Endgame, there's a lot of people who still bought the movie on Blu-ray and they get a chance to see it on Blu-ray, or Aquaman, which sold 3.9 million copies, and Toy Story 4, which, of course, a lot of parents are buying that for their kids for holidays, obviously, which bumped it up to 2.8 million. I'm not going to see Toy Story 4. I have no interest in Toy Story 4, but there are still a lot of people who will disagree with me that say Toy Story 3 is not a masterpiece. And, you have all the Pixar drones calling me an idiot for not appreciating their movies. And, it's just so hilarious that Hustlers is not selling. No one cares about Hustlers. The movie is dead in the water. Just like Booksmart, just like Us, just like these movies that they called masterpieces, but no one went to go see them. No one went to go see Hustlers. No one went to go buy Hustlers on Blu-ray, and soon it will be in the $5 Blu-ray section with such awesome movies like, such art for, in the clearance rack with which they'll be joining Man in Black, The National, and Dark Phoenix, and they'll soon, probably by the end of this year. That's basically it. Goodbye.